Welcome back to the session. In this scenario, we'll continue to explore the testing part of our application. Before the break, we had focus on to the backend related to API contract testing. Now we shall be focusing on to the UI testing. So almost 120 test cases are created by AI for all the 5 different distinct microservices, happy path, failure path, edge cases. There we go. So all test cases are passed. Now it is your responsibility to validate them. What test cases it has written and what is the use case it is trying to prove. Happy path, failure path, what is the input has passed. You have to validate them. So accepting default outputs produced by also is a wrong thing. So there are several lessons. Don't expect AI to be always perfect. AI is perfect as long as you convey the right messages in the right manner. So now we'll run our front end. We'll open a new window. So application is coming up with, we have the demo credential, loading, we have branches. Now what we are interested is that we wanted to create a new branch and edit the branch, activate, deactivate here also like this. So there are several scenarios we would like to try it out with. Login, logout. So how the logout takes place here? Sign out. Okay. Sign in. Here we don't have any option to sign out. Okay. Sign in. Branch. I'm going to search for a branch called Mysore. I don't see that, so I would like to create a new branch, search for that particular branch. Right. And activate the branch also. So everything to be recorded very properly. I strongly recommend the 3 different distinct UI framework, test automation frameworks help you to do this work for you. Selenium, which is proven. old one, very strong and strong community, open source implementation. Then at the recent time we got Cypress. That is also open source implementation, especially SPA, single page applications. So it is really good, like Angular or React or so. Microsoft has recently introduced a new, maybe a few years ago, a new thing called Playwright. Good thing is that it is AA supported. It is open source, free to use, no tooling, no pricing for that. Good thing is that we have got good integration with Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio to do the UI test. So now what are we going to do is that we wanted to develop a very simple UI test automation project and see how we are going to perform different use case scenarios to do that UI automation, UI testing. No coding written, no coding touched. Okay, let's see. New session. Now the project already exists. Everything is fresh. Okay. Now you have to explain what exactly you are going to be doing. You give the complete information. Ask him to come up with a plan, review, implement it. Are we good?
This will carry the context, right?
No. Slash context. That is system prompt, system tools, skill messages, nothing. Otherwise, it is empty. Those are all Claude specific stuff. Not our conversation, earlier conversation. All right. So first step, give the complete information about the surroundings. Like what? I am the UI tester. I am asked to build UI test automation using Playwright. There are already services running. Already service running. Before you start the UI test case, before you start, I wanted to make sure that those services are up and running. And then you only focus on to act as an user and test whether the application is accessible, whether the application is behaving as per the expectation. So this is the simple way to start the work. As an UI automation test engineer, I am required to perform automated AI driven or automated UI testing, UI functionality testing, UI functionalities to be tested using Playwright. I shall ensure that, okay, all services okay, I'll ensure that the front end service is up and running before the UI test automation starts. So that is my responsibility. I will make sure that everything is run. So when I run the test case, I should just verify that. Good. I prefer data-driven testing using text files, all the inputs that you provide. Good. Can you initialize a test automation project in Node.js, JavaScript in UI folder? I shall be by default using Chrome browser. Do you get my problem statement? Ask me questions in MCQs with 4 to 5 choices. Plan mode, view plot code, plan mode, go. Which test runner framework setup should I use with the Playwright? Playwright test, Playwright library, Mocha, Playwright library, just Cucumber and Playwright. Official Playwright test runner, built-in accession, parallelism, reporters and fixtures. We'll use this one. How should the front-end service availability be ensured before the test runs? Playwright web server configuration recommended. What is that? Playwright.config.js file web server block boots awaits FU URLs automatically. Global setup ping. I think that should be fine. I believe. Wait on polls for FE URL using the wait on the until ready. NPM script pre-test hook. No automatic check. Engineer ensure that FE is up and running manually. I'll go ahead with assume already running. What format of the data-driven test data files should be? TXT, CSV, TSV, JSON? CSV. Which project structure pattern should I scaffold? Page object model, POM. Test pages, data unit fixture, scalable POM layout. Flat test folder. All specs in the test with shared helpers only, or POM fixtures, feature based folders. I think flat test folder fine should be fine now. What in my POM model? It will create a class called login page. It will create a function called click login button. Likewise, it will create. Then the test file will just call them. So for now, we will use a flat test folder. If you install Playwright extension in Visual Studio Code, do you see that? Playwright test for Visual Studio Code. If you install, it is from Microsoft only. You will be able to get one icon called Playwright testing. Okay. So let us answer the question. What is the front-end base URL test should target? 5000. Which reporter should be enabled by default? HTML, console, JUnit XML. for a CI integration dashboards. Okay. We don't need this. Artifacts. Which artifact should be captured on failures? Screenshot on failure. Video on failure. No. What is hard network? What is saying? Say. HTTP archive file, JSON formatted log that records network transactions between browser. Okay. Headed or headless execution by default. Headless means basically it doesn't show the browser at all. Headed means it will show the browser. You literally see that how the actions are taken place. I think that should be fine. Headed. In the CI test, CI/CD pipelines, headless browser testing is ideal because it should be automated. In the interactive testing mode, headed browser is good. So for now demo purposes, we'll use headed only. Initialize Playwright UI automation project. Confirmed preferences. Okay. Accept. You can learn a lot of vocabularies. Right. We can see that UI test automation project has been initialized. Let's go to the testing section. Refresh it. We can now see that the Playwright test UI simple spec.js. What does simple spec.js do? Let's see that. Let us understand. It basically opens the localhost 5000 URL. If it opens, test is passed. Homepage loads for user Alice, Bob's. So 3 different users have got. From where did you get these three different users? In the data folder, we can see sample.csv, 3 different users. Username, password. But our objective is to not to give this, so we have to manipulate this particular username and password. We will work on that. Open with text editor. admin, okay. Let us go back to the testing, run through this. It's already here. So, in the bottom, we can see that close the browser. Still, it is referring the Alice Bob home page. Ah. Let us understand what that particular specification does, so that we will be able to validate whether it is right approach or not. We just open the slash, nothing else. Where are we entering the username and username and password? We're not done that. All right. Now is the time for us to create a new test case. We will delete this. I always prefer to archive them instead of deleting them explicitly. Archive. Right. Let us go to the test folder. Right now we don't have any test. Record now. Open the browser. It is recording. HTTP localhost 5000. Admin. Nexus HA underscore 2026 exclamatory. Sign in. Sign out. Stop. Now we have captured the one user story. Log in with the valid credential. Ensure that we see the dashboard. We didn't capture also dashboard is there or not. We just went to that particular screen, log out, come out. Now we can see that it is basically had this. Okay. Login screen dot ts. Ideally speaking, we don't want TypeScript. We wanted to have the JavaScript only. But that guy has created that the testing extension by default created the TS file. First thing, copy this particular TS file. Can you update the following? Number one, change TS to JavaScript, TypeScript to JavaScript. Number two, hard-coded credentials including admin and admin should be referencing data file. Okay. Add UTT, user think time. User is not a machine. Open the browser, immediately types the username and password and all. When user sees the screen, no, he will look at the screen like this. Connect to the sky. Then he will type the username and password. Once again, he will not click the sign in button also. Click the sign in button after some time, maybe 10 or maybe 1 or 2 seconds. That is called user think time. The reason why we have to add the user think time is that the backend services also take time to return the data for you. It's not a supercomputer we have got at the backend. The moment you blink your eyes, the data comes in. No. They made, so you can measure how long it is taking to get the data from the backend. So UTT is a must. I always recommend to add in the use cases. Add UTT, user think time, from 200 milliseconds to maybe 1000 milliseconds randomly for every steps. Now your specification is going to be updated. Now we can see that appropriate one has come up with the for every row in rows from the sample.csv data. Let's go back to this testing. Now we can see 2 test cases. Clear cache. You can run only this test case first. Otherwise it will parallelize. You can see that it is passed. Both are passed, right? Are we good to understand? So test engineers should be focusing on to such things. No, Ram, here also a lot of manual effort. No, I have to open the screen, type the value. You understand? There's a manual effort, right? No, no response is coming from the people. There's a manual effort, right? So how do you make it more automated? You ask the AI to understand the front end project at the high level, especially one particular screen, dashboard screen, branch screen or so. Then ask the AI saying that is it possible for you to create different use case stories out of this screen? That guy will come up with a plan saying that I found 4 use case stories. You review, approve, then this guy will generate like this. So extreme automation is also possible. But again, after the AI driven UI test generation, no, most likely you may have to tweak again and again. So better what I do is that you develop a complex use case story once in the recorded format. Complex user story means one recording. will help you to do login, dashboard, patient, new patient, activate patient, edit patient, deactivate patient, likewise. Then branch, all of them. You are able to understand? Give the input to the AI model saying that this is the complete use case story. Can you now generate different user stories for patient specific, doctor specific, branch specific, activation specific, likewise. Now it will understand, tear it down. Create 50 spec files, so test spec files. This is called write automation. You're able to understand. Instead of asking the AI to understand the complete front end, which is not easy for enterprise scale systems and all, complex systems and all. In your cases and all, you may be very having a lot of screens, lot of UI. It's not easy then. So better what you do, you capture the end-to-end activity. From there, generate the possible use cases, test cases. That way token is also optimized. Work is also going to be very simple, smooth. Okay. Now we are ready to record now. I click this demo button, sign in, branches, add a branch, Mysore, activate, create branch. Mysore, filter, Mysore. Deactivate, deactivate. Now we captured that. Capturing. Edit branch, activate. Save changes, activate. Sign out. Stop. Close it. Now we capture all the actions. Are we good? Once again, this guy has generated the TS file. Branch screen spec.ts. Can you look into this file? I want the following changes to be done. Or if you are not very sure about a very complex, ask him to analyze it. What it does. How can I modularize? How can I use a data driven? Likewise, you request. See, very simple. Be surrendered. If you're not very sure about what you're doing, get clarified. Don't show the ego. I know I'm a 35 years old guy, and 45 years old guy, 30 years experience. I will not bend myself to the A and all. You want to get the job done faster with a stress-free manner, right? I don't want someone to call from your office saying that this is not working, that's not working and all. Okay. So first thing is that data-driven testing, especially branch information. TS2 JavaScript. Do you recommend to modularize this test scenario, which is complete for branch management, including creation, search, activating, deactivating, and so on? Can you draft a plan before we proceed? I would like to review. Even if you are in the edit automatically mode, because you told no plan, I would like to review. It won't do the work. Recommended, yes, modularize. Lightly, to honor your earlier flat test folder, no choice. Instead of full page objects, extract reusable steps into utils, helpers. Split the recording into 4 focused specs: branch create, branch search, branch lifecycle, branch E to E. Data lives in data branches at CSV with an action column. 3 open question to you. The tested dependencies. Should branch search and branch lifecycle depend on branch create having run first ordered? Should each spec seed on its own data independent and slower? Login strategy. Login once, reuse storage state, or login per test. Data file granularity. You want to have the branches at CSV or branches that create at CSV or so? Ordered. Login strategy. Login once, reuse the storage state, or every run, log out and log in and so. What is that? What is the choice? You are the product manager. This is what you are going to be facing when you are doing the development. Choose the right answer. Now we have 3 different test scenarios. No, creation, search, activate, deactivate. For every test scenario, do you want to log in, log out, or this becomes a full life cycle? Person logs in, create it, log out. Person create, log in, search it, log out. Which one is ideal? Or you want to focus on the testing? I think login, logout not required in this case. So login once. Number 3, data file granularity. 1 branches.csv. More than enough. Go. When you're doing the UI testing, it may not be possible for you to reinitialize the whole database like what we've done in the API contract testing. So most likely what we are supposed to do that we have to have some buttons, reinitialize the whole stuff. something like that. Then only we will be able to get the complete picture. For example, if I run the data driven testing second time, Mysore will not work now because database will not accept it. Right. Let's go to the test. Let us refresh it. Now I can see create search lifecycle. Let's go back to the data.csv, the branches.csv is going to create a set of branches. So let me pick up, open with the default text editor, Mysore branch. Instead of Mysore branch, I'm going to say that the HYD branch. Okay. So to creation, HYD Chennai, HYD activate, deactivate. Test. Run through the creation. So now the question over here is that in the branch management spec, we are creating before each it goes to the slash. So we should tell him, why are we supposed to, so we'll express our concern during the test, during the creation test, it logs in and logs out. Doesn't seem to be creating a new branch. Root cause. Auth setup.js file. Storage is too early. Right after clicking sign in, the SPA has not received the auth token yet. So the captured state is empty. When branch management spec.then starts, reader is to login and the rest of the test suite sits. Okay. There seems to be some sort of time delay the way we receive the token, and how are we going to preserve the token to the subsequent test cases. Let us refresh it once again. Now we can see that it is able to create the branches. So now successfully able to create. Now we'll test the search also. We can see that the search is also working. How about life cycle? Test case passed. Are we confident that we are able to generate or will be able to create a UI test automation in your environment? So always have a full story first. Okay. From there, ingest that to a model, create the modularist test cases, tear it down. If you ask the AI model saying that learn the whole front end, generate the test cases, and I will be lazy like this and sitting, you will never be able to get the right output. This is what I have been saying so many number of times since day one. What is that? How are you going to be useful to the AI? Instead of asking the question, what Claude or what GitHub Copilot can do for me? What India has done to me? What have you done to that? Right? Right. So this completes our testing scenarios.